So I want to thank all of you for being here today. We have with us today the Undersecretary of Energy, Paul DeBar, Governor Henry McMaster, Congressman Joe Wilson, Mayor Rick Osborne. Thank you for being here as well. We really appreciate everyone being here this morning to recognize this significant event for this facility and launching this effort to be able to put this facility in place to the benefit of the department and the nation. This effort began probably 6 years ago or so, with the department determining that there was a mission need for this effort to be able to help not only to meet the demands of getting through the EM mission, but also because of the benefit that we knew could arise from placing it, in an atmosphere where we could have industry and academia and others participate to the benefit of all. For those things that could be brought into the picture for EM's missions, and for those things that we could transfer out from EM. And so we are very thankful to be here today, kicking this off, having gained the support that we have to make this happen. And so at this time, I'd like to ask Chancellor Jordan, if she would, please, to step forward and have some words for us.
Thank you, Tony. Good morning. I had my doubts early this morning, but now it is a beautiful morning and a great day for our community, the Department of Energy, the Savannah River National Laboratory, and for all the educational entities in our region, including this campus, the University of South Carolina, Aiken. I think I'm far enough away from you, I can take this off, right? Okay. It is my sincere pleasure to welcome you to this event marking the kickoff of the new Advanced Manufacturing Collaborative right here on this exact spot where it will be built. I am pleased to share this dais with Congressman Joe Wilson, who has dedicated his life to service. Our governor, the Honorable Henry McMaster, the Honorable Paul DeBar, the Undersecretary for Science, Aiken's Mayor, the Honorable Rick Osborne, who is also an alumnus of this fine university, and Mr. Tony POLK, Project Director for the Department of Energy at the Savannah River site. We are here today to celebrate the official launch of the Advanced Manufacturing Collaborative, affectionately known by many names, but the one I'll use in public is the AMC. Sometimes we call it the snail, but the AMC. This $50 million facility will house advanced research in engineering, the sciences, and new technologies. Located outside the perimeter of the Savannah River site, the AMC is designed to maximize involvement with industry, business, and education. Here, the considerable research capabilities of the National Labs talent pool can be leveraged out beyond the site to enhance 21st century industry and manufacturing. The AMC will also act as an economic stimulus for the ability to capitalize on cutting-edge research and development, will engender new partnerships and attract new businesses to this region. Additionally, the AMC will be poised to maximize educational partners with USC Aiken, with nearby Aiken Technical College, and other universities across our region. Because of the proximity of the Aiken County Public School System's Scholars Academy and the Ruth Patrick Science Education Center here on our campus, the AMC will also develop a continuous ladder of educational attainment in our region focused on STEM fields. As you can imagine, the community's passion for this project has known no bounds. The Department of Energy's investment in the future of the Savannah River National Laboratory, and simultaneously in this region, and the department's commitment to providing a high-quality work environment where scientists, engineers, and technologists explore the outer boundaries of innovation continues to inspire me. Now, ribbon cuttings, grand openings, and kickoff events like this provide a unique opportunity to reflect on all it took to reach this point. Attainment of a major milestone like this can only be achieved through incredible teamwork. And as we reflect on the path to this point, we certainly recognize that we owe a big debt of gratitude to many, many people who worked very hard over the past several years to bring this project from the concept stage to where we are right this moment. I'm honored to recognize those whose efforts kept this project alive, those whose dedication and commitment and downright tenacity sometimes have helped us reach this important milestone. Many of you gathered here played a role in the success of this project. From Carol Johnson to Stuart McVeigh, Terry Mikowski to Fahid Majidi, Secretary Moniz, Secretary Brule, our distinguished congressional delegation in Washington, D.C., and our illustrious State House members here in South Carolina. And let's not forget the countless individuals at DOE headquarters and here at the Savannah River site. We pause to thank the members of the Aiken County Commission of Higher Education, led today by Ms. Teresa Haas, and the USC Board of Trustees, along with Aiken's mayor and our county council chairman, Gary Bunker. Our gratitude extends from the office of the governor, Governor McMaster, to the office of the University of South Carolina President, Bob Caslin, and also to our chambers of commerce in our region, the Savannah River Citizens Reuse Organization, and the Economic Development Partnership, and so many, many others who either conceived of, shepherded, contributed to, or led aspects of this exciting project. To each of you here today who helped make this a reality, thank you. Thank you for your steadfast belief in this project. This moment has been, I know maybe not in federal terms, but in other terms, a long-term project. It's been a time coming. And it has not been all smooth sailing, but everyone's tireless work is to be commended today. The debt of gratitude we feel certainly applies to every person on this dais. Additionally, I would like to personally express my very sincere thanks to Secretary of Energy, Mr. Dan Brule, who unfortunately could not be with us this morning, but who is appropriately and well represented by Mr. Paul DeBar. And I want to recognize, in addition to Congressman Wilson, our U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham and Senator Tim Scott, who were unable to join us but who have been vocal champions of this project. As I look out here at this campus, this vista, I no longer see a campus intramural field. I see a state-of-the-art Department of Energy Advanced Manufacturing Collaborative. And next door to this, right over there, I don't see a softball field anymore. When I look at it, I see the National Guard Cybersecurity Dreamport, all nestled together here, exploiting the power of proximity, along with the #1 ranked comprehensive regional university in the South. You knew I'd get to that at some point, right? Thank you. Together, I think we're going to create an amazing anchor for a corridor of innovation that will advance the Central Savannah River region, and stretch across the river to Augusta and Fort Gordon, all in the service of the state of South Carolina, the region, and of course, the nation. Today's brief ceremony is significant for so many reasons. We are poised to literally change the landscape of this university's campus, but also to change the relationship of the Savannah River National Laboratory's research and discovery to manufacturing, industry, education, and beyond. As you came across the field, hopefully you didn't get your shoes too wet, but as you came across the field to gather under this tent, you may have noticed several young people in their burgundy jackets. These are USC Aiken students who are members of the Chancellor's ambassador team. I wanted them to be here today, of course, to greet you and make you feel welcome, but also to remind every one of us that the incredible new DOE facility is actually a tangible investment in the future these students will all inherit. Welcome today to USC Aiken and to this milestone. As we celebrate the vision of all who contributed, we are also mindful that we are taking an important step in securing an exciting future. Welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Jordan, for those words. I'd like to now ask Mayor Rick OSBON if he would like to speak to the crowd.
Thank you. Undersecretary DeBar, Governor McMaster, Congressman Wilson, members of our South Carolina delegation, all elected officials, Dr. Caslin, Chancellor, and our university family, good morning on behalf of the City of Aiken. We can all agree that President Harry Truman's decision to create the Savannah River site in 1950 was auspicious for our city. We heeded the call and devoted ourselves to the defense of our nation with the newest and most critical technology of that era. And now, 70 years later, the Savannah River site is still committed to meeting the needs of our country and is home of one of only 17 national labs. Today, we are a step closer to the realization of the Advanced Manufacturing Collaborative. Our community is afforded the opportunity to not only have the activity and interaction of students on our University of South Carolina Aiken campus with some of the greatest minds in our country and the world. It also allows for public and private collaborations, which means jobs, which means growth and opportunities for Aiken and a stronger economy for our South Carolina. One such project, which was already mentioned, is the South Carolina National Guard Dreamport. It is the #1 priority for our South Carolina National Guard. The purpose of the Dreamport facility will be to increase our state's cyber response capabilities through partnerships and to keep pace with the increasing cyber threats and technology initiatives. And they want to do it in a world-class facility on a campus of USC Aiken because they want to be on the same campus with the AMC. This collaboration will be the first step in extending our cyber corridor from the Army Cyber Center in Fort Gordon into South Carolina, and we don't think it stops here. I want to thank our governor for his leadership in including this project in your most recent executive budget, Governor. Thank you for that. And I want to thank our delegation for their leadership in the State House in maneuvering this and making sure that we know that we have the site for that Dreamport. Now, I say this today, Undersecretary DeBar, because you have been true to your word to this community. And we know that your vision and the Secretary's vision, with a strong congressional support of our delegation led by Congressman Joe Wilson, has made this day possible. So today, as a community, we commit to you, not to squander this opportunity, but to work and strive for public-private partnerships that not only grow our economy, but develop technology, develop knowledge, and foster the next generation of scientists that will make our world a safer place right here in Aiken, South Carolina. I'm excited to be here with you on behalf of the city today and excited for the future of this campus. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you, Mayor Osborne. So, Congressman Wilson, thank you for being here today. The podium is yours.
And ladies and gentlemen, what an honor to be here and to be here with the University of South Carolina Aiken Pacers. I'm reminded daily of the Pacers because Chancellor Jordan has given me a little stuffed Pacer, and it's on the desk in Washington. So when we do have our reopening, I'm reminded every day of USCA and the Chancellor. And then I know it's a special day because my wife Roxanne wanted to be here as the top cheerleader of Chancellor Sandra Jordan. And so we'd really appreciate her leadership. And she has the right word. I was thinking of cooperation. No, it's teamwork, and bipartisan teamwork too, on providing for where we are today. And as I was sitting here, it is so humbling to represent so many extraordinary people, people who make such a difference on behalf of creating jobs, immediately jobs of construction, and then the AMC itself will be an innovative hub where you'll have creative activities for manufacturing, for innovation, for technology, for training workers, and then to be here with General McCarty, how incredible with the Cyber Center to be located here too. What a fabulous location. And so in every way, the teamwork, municipal, county, state, federal, and as an alumnus of DOE, I'm really grateful to be here from 1000 Independence Avenue myself at one time. And so all of this comes together, but the great thing is, gosh, you just can't do any better than Aiken, South Carolina. So except for the rest of the district I represent. No, it's just, and so, and James Smith knows that I'm saying things that anyway, hey, thank y'all all for being here today. What a day to celebrate teamwork. God bless you. Thank you.
Governor McMaster, I know that you know that this has to be one of the things that you enjoy the most, are these events where you can stand up and be so proud of the state of South Carolina and the things that are going on in the state. So thank you for being here.
I am, and thank you very much. And Joe, you reminded me, they say there are three kinds of people: those who make things happen, those who watch what happens, and those who wonder what happened. Well, we're in a group today of people who made things happen, and I'll be very brief. Just a quick behind-the-curtain view. We've had a number of meetings in Washington, and I got to tell you, if it weren't for Joe Wilson and Lindsey Graham, we would not be here today doing this. And I was in the room we've been there a number of times with the president, with Secretary Perry, prior to Secretary Bruyette. I speak to the phone, as others do, regularly with Secretary Bruyette. We get a lot of attention in South Carolina. It's for good reason, is because the view around the world of what can happen in South Carolina is one of great promise and for a great future. And what we see here is collaboration, communication, and cooperation, and it works every time. And when you have great institutions collaborating, then there's no end to what can happen. And this is just beginning. These young people over here not been on earth long enough to probably see some small seeds be planted that end up with great things coming out of them. But I can promise you, this is just the beginning of a greatness in our state. And it's reflected in a number of ways. I'm so glad that President Chancellor is here and Happy General McCarty is here, because with the Cyber Lab going on just across the river, with the great collaborations that USC is doing, no one can outrun us. And right now, with the virus we understand the virus now. We can see the end, the light at the end of that tunnel. We know what we're dealing with there. And we're in a position to collaborate, communicate, cooperate, and head right straight towards brain power. And that is where the future of the world is going to be. And that's why it is vitally important to have the government institutions as well as the academic institutions, as well as the commercial, the business community involved all together. That's why I'm happy to see so many of our legislators here. There's Bart Blackwell. I think that's Nikki Chancellor sitting there. And there's Tom Young, and I saw Shane Massey, and I think I'm missing somebody, former legislator. Is that James Smith? I'll tell y'all a quick joke on it. It's hard to recognize people. The family moved into town, and they were looking for a church to go to, and he decided, well, if he's going to go to this one, so they made him an usher. They said, that's the best way to learn the people of the church. You got to be an usher. So he was ushering people in and out, and after doing that for a few weeks, and the service was long, one day at the end of the service, he was helping people out, and everybody was coming out, and he was tired. Been a long service. One of the last ones was an elderly lady. He was helping her down the steps, and he said, ma'am, I just got to say, that's about the worst sermon I think I ever heard in my life. She says, son, do you know who I am? He says, no, I don't. He says, I'm the preacher's mama. He said, well, ma'am, do you know who I am? She says, no, I don't. He said, thank you, Jesus. We have a lot of fun in South Carolina, but let me mention just briefly, speaking of brain power, at the University in Columbia right now, if you go and look at the building on the corner of Blossom and Assembly, you will see the IBM logo there. There is a collaboration going on there, just like there's going to be a collaboration going on here. And proximity, the power of proximity is imaginative. There you have the academics and the students, undergraduate and graduate of USC, working with Siemens, which gave $260 million worth of software, working with Samsung, working with IBM, the data analytic headquarters of the U.S. is there, and Yaskawa, which is a robot manufacturing company. They're all working together right there. We have the McNair Center, where you have engineers and you have Boeing participating. That also is on Assembly Street. Just a couple of things that are sort of related. Just 2 weeks ago, we opened up the Agricultural Technology Campus in Early Branch. It's a $314 million. It's the largest agricultural technology project in South Carolina ever. There's 1,000 acres. They go grow fruits, vegetables, leafy plants, tomatoes, and strawberries inside under glass and go water them. It's aquaponics or hydroponics. There's a difference, but one of them is going to be there. We have just opened up Exit 3 on Highway 95, where a development is going to take place on, we call it River Point. That's going to open up that entire area. And also coming along is going to be the Jasper Ocean Terminal. I tell you, we've got more going on in South Carolina than any other place in the whole country. And the reason is beautiful mountains, the oceans, all great people, but it's the communication, the collaboration, and the cooperation. We can turn on a dime. We're nimble. If we need something, you just pick up the phone and call. And Mr. Undersecretary, that's why we want to work closely with the national government. We thank the Trump administration. We thank all those involved. But this is a big day. And young people, hold on to your hats. The best is yet going to come. You're going to see things you've never seen before. And I want to thank all of you on behalf of 5 million proud, happy South Carolinians for what you're doing here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor McMaster, for those words. So before I ask our Undersecretary to take the podium for some words, let me just say, I've had the pleasure of interacting with Paul on several occasions now as he's been at Savannah River site and otherwise, and the Undersecretary's passion for science is evident every time that you speak with him. His support for Savannah River National Laboratory, all of the laboratories, and what they bring to be able to drive the economic engine of this nation and continue to make it, a place where everyone wants to be and that is, recognized as the leader in the world is evident. He knows that science is a big part of that. If you ever get the opportunity to talk to him about, the things that excite him, be prepared. But you will understand why it is that this is a success today as well too, in large part because of his support, in large part because of what he drove through headquarters, and as has been relayed here, the collaboration and the effort of so many people to make this become a reality. So, Paul, if you would, please.
So I'll take off my Naval Academy face mask because there's far too many stars here from the Army, and I'm actually a little intimidated. Not about the football, but about just about. Thank you, Dr. Jordan, for having us here. This has been coming for a while, and I'm glad that we've been here. There's many people here I've met with here over the last few years in my office, down here when I've come to visit, advocating for this. And thanks to a number of members and your advocacy that we got here today. Thank you, Governor McMaster, for your investment around what we jointly do here together. Your investment, your support, and your investment in this area around University here at Aiken and Savannah River site is noticed by all of us who work every day at the lab, and we very much appreciate it. We wouldn't be here without congressional support and support of appropriations. So I've met many times with Congressman Wilson about this topic and other topics, about the future and the vision of Savannah River National Lab and its engagement and the important investment that's going on here. So thank you very much. And I've met with the mayor many times. Every time I come down, this is I think the best engagement that we have across the complex. Don't tell anyone at Los Alamos or Hanford that. It don't matter. Of any of the states and any of the local communities. So we very much appreciate that ongoing engagement. This is a wonderful site in which families for generations have been part of this community of innovation and the university and Savannah River National Lab and national security execution that we've had since the Manhattan Project. This region has had skilled workers, people who've been dedicated to national security and increasingly focused on the next generation of technologies. It's very exciting. It's exciting not only to be here today to do a groundbreaking and a commemoration of a new building, but right after this, we're going to be at the completion of a building on the Savannah River site. So today we're also going to be cutting a ribbon and commissioning the salt waste processing facility, which has been under construction for a long time, a slightly over $2 billion project that we have been putting money into and people here in this community have been building, and we are commissioning that. So here today, it's a little bit of the opening and closing of the doors. We're starting new construction and looking forward, and we're very much happy to be commissioning a very large facility that we've been investing here at Savannah River site for a while. Obviously, the mission of the department is quite wide, and this site and our interaction here with the local community is quite wide, whether it's dealing with national security, longer term with strategic weapons, or more recently also focusing on cybersecurity, investing in science and technology, including America's rise in the energy area. Thanks to the support and investment in this state and our interaction with the universities at Savannah River National Lab, the country went from a very large importer of energy to being energy independent for the first time since the 50s. And that has been driven by technology and innovation. That is how America was able to lead. And the 17 national labs have been at the forefront, along with our university partners that we've invested in year after year on new energy innovation through our grant programs, have made a major difference for energy security and for jobs as a result, and for national security because it provides for flexibility on the part of the nation around being energy independent. The Advanced Manufacturing Collaborative Facility is another step in that engagement. It has been a big part of our leadership team of the technology that we're helping to develop inside the fence and how we can work with neighboring universities and the neighboring communities and the private sector on how to take that technology and to move it out the door. I think the National Lab Complex has done a very good job at developing new technologies. Obviously, the core of the department was a Manhattan Project, and everything that came from that, whether that was nuclear medicine, nuclear imaging, nuclear power, obviously, the power source for the Perseverance rover heading to Mars right now was in part developed from the technology and the processing right here. But our engagement with the local community to take that technology, to work with the local universities and the private sector, the trifecta that's really required to get the most out of the spending of the American taxpayer. It's about the research at the federal facilities. It's about working with academia and working with the private sector. Those three things will continue to lead America as a leader in technology and development in the world. And we think that building this building and building out the community that's going to be inhabiting this building will take America to the next level. Under the leadership of President Trump and Secretary Brouillette, and with the support of members, in particular Congressman Wilson and the senators here, the support for the National Lab Complex in terms of budget over the last 3 years is up 32%. That's up by billions of dollars every single year. That's supporting both research in all the different areas I just described, as well as building facilities for the next generation. Most people don't realize what's happened in terms of support for innovation. I think coming out of Washington, in particular, the members' investment in appropriations and support. The U.S. is at an all-time high in funding of science and technology, by a long shot over the last 3 years. Most people don't realize that. It's hard to cut through that through a lot of the press. And so the Department of Energy National Lab Complex is well at an all-time high in support of R&D. NASA is at well on top at an all-time high in terms of support. The National Institutes of Health, obviously a very topical area, all-time high in terms of support coming from Congress. And I think there's a lot of reasons why that we reached that place, but I think there's a lot of love for the support of R&D and technology. I think there's a lot of support from the country in terms of support for taking that innovation and driving it forward for economic development. And South Carolina is a great example of moving forward in manufacturing and many other areas. And obviously part of it is international competition, and that we should be investing from an international competition point of view and investing in that. There's a number of different areas that we've been talking about in terms of industries of the future, talking about artificial intelligence, quantum, cyber, advanced manufacturing, 5G, that we've been investing in, and that South Carolina and Savannah River National Lab have been participating, and we expect that they will continue. I like to talk about, from a kind of arc of history, there's been 4 national projects that have been part of the country that have helped develop technology, that have arrived for various spin-offs working with academia and the private sector that have happened. The first one was the Manhattan Project that formed DOE, that formed this particular area. The second one was the Apollo program. The third one was the Digital Revolution. And the fourth one that we're just beginning to start is the Human Genome Project, and all the health that's being driven from genomics that is going to be able to cut short the development cycle for a COVID vaccine significantly, that would not have been there if it wasn't for that project. Each and every one of those had the interaction, once again, of the federal footprint and the national labs, academia, and the private sector to help develop those technologies and how to deploy them. An example in the digital revolution is it wasn't for the Department of Defense and DARPA developing the modem in 1969 and funding it through DARPA and the original 4 deployments, which happened at universities. If it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have the internet today. And as I look out into the future, what's next, right? What's next after the Human Genome Project? I see 3 potential areas of the next national project. The National Quantum Initiative, so taking quantum mechanics that was developed 100 years ago by Einstein and Planck and Bohr, and developing a second information technology on quantum computing and quantum internet. The second one that could happen is in clean energy and advanced energy. There's obviously a lot of interest in that topic, and obviously DOE is very well positioned for that also. And the last one is the Moon to Mars project. We spent a lot of time talking about developing the technologies right now. We're returning to the moon, and we're going to stay in 2024, and we're going to be testing the technologies that are going to be used to move forward for us to walk on Mars. And for those students over there, someone from your generation is going to walk on Mars. It's going to happen. It's going to be that woman right there. She said, she just raised her hand. She's going to walk on Mars. These are truly exciting times moving forward on that. And right here at SRNL, they're working. I was there yesterday and working on cutting edge quantum technologies that is not happening in the Bay Area. It's not happening at MIT. It's happening here with the investments that we and the state and the local community are investing in. So AMC is a great facility. It will allow for that continued growth and that collaboration. We wouldn't be here today without all the investments by the state, investments by people who support and fund us at the federal level, but most importantly, the people here today who've been advocating for this, showing the importance of this for us moving forward, and really exciting to be here today, both for starting and for completing something at the same day here in South Carolina. So thank you very much.
So thank you all again for being here today. As I mentioned earlier, 6 years worth of effort and collaboration to get us here. It's an exciting stepping off point for the laboratory and for the community, for the state, as we continue to implement the initiatives that Paul and others have put in place for us. It's an exciting time for Savannah Riverside and for the National Laboratory. So what I'd like to ask right now is we've worked for, as I said, for a long time getting to this point. We've had concepts about this design. We continue to work that and bring new information that's come to bear over the last several years relative to advanced manufacturing as the laboratory and the department work together to figure out exactly what we're going to do to make this an extremely flexible facility that is going to add value to everyone. But we have a concept in place. And what I'd like to do is ask Dr. Jordan, if she would, and Undersecretary DeBar, if he would, to please step forward. And if you would, unveil our concept for this facility that, by the way, was generated with the 3D printing capabilities that Savannah River National Laboratory has. This is just a small bit of the capabilities that are being built at the laboratory. But if you would, let's show everybody what we think this is going to look like. I invite all, there you go, yes, office. I invite all of you to please come by, take a look. Actually, the way that the laboratory has managed this and built this, there are sections that come apart so that you can see what it might look like in the interior as well too. So please, if you would, come by, take a look at it on your way out. We do appreciate everyone being here today for this celebration. Thank you so much for being here.